This is Black History Month, and the great Carter G. Woodson began what was Black History Week. And tomorrow is actually the anniversary of his having begun Black History Week. It just started as a week of celebration at that time of the Negro people. But it has grown to a month. And that started February 26th, 1926. But what I want to do in honor of Black History Month is pay tribute to this period in history that is called the Harlem Renaissance. I love the Harlem Renaissance. I'm a writer, so of course I'll love it. And the Harlem Renaissance, you all, it was this intellectual and this cultural revival of African American music and dance and fashion and theater and literature and policies. And it was centered in Harlem, New York. And it spanned this period of the 1920s to the 1930s. And many of you may have had relatives and folk that you remember. I certainly remember my great grandmother, who was a fashion icon. And she not only talked about it, but she lived through what was called the Roaring 20s. And while the rest of the world was experiencing it as the Roaring 20s, people who looked like me, people who were brown and people of color, they were experiencing this explosion and this resurgence. Renaissance is French for reborn and rebirth. So that's how we got this revival of all of these things. And some of my favorite writers of that time were people like Langston Hughes and Gwendolyn Brooks and Claude McKay and Conti Collins, and just wonderful writers. So what I want to do for the next few moments, if you all will be so kind to join me, is to allow me to pay tribute to the Harlem Renaissance with my writings. So I'm going to read a few poems, all right? I'm going to read from, I think I want to start, since I'm talking about these writers, I want to start by reading from Who We Once Were. And you can get these books on Amazon.com. But just, as I'm reading these, let me know what feelings they evoke and if you're enjoying this poetry, all right? This one is called, Does Anybody Read Poetry Anymore? This is my tribute to the Harlem Renaissance writers. Does anybody read poetry anymore? Or have we walked through an open door and turned our backs on a time when there was a message in the rhyme? Have we forgotten how to write about our struggles and our plight, about our shame and our scorn and the wonders of being reborn? Does anybody read Baldwin, Brooks, Angelou, or Hughes? Or do their meters no longer bring to us the news that replenished us, established us, and constituted our souls for tomorrows yet to come and yesterdays of old? Does anybody read poetry anymore? Or have we forsaken our abilities to score? Lyrics that moved us, melodies that made us, refrains that proved us, and verses that saved us. Have we cast aside the beauty of the pen? The cafes up in Harlem and the silence of the dens, teaching our children how to sing and somehow letting freedom ring. Is the crystal stair now paved with gold? Has the caged bird become so old that meters don't matter and scholars don't care about sickness and disease and children dying everywhere? Does anybody read poetry anymore? Does anybody write poetry anymore? Is there nothing left to give? Oh, to God that we might restore the words that once helped us live. That is my tribute to the Harlem Renaissance. I absolutely love that poem. Let me know what you all think of it. I hope you all enjoyed that particular poem and that particular piece. We are now paying homage to Black History Month, you all, and we are doing so by particularly focusing on the Harlem Renaissance, okay? What I'm going to do is now go to another poem. And that poem is Nothing in Your Hands You Bring. Nothing. And you all can chat it up in the chat room. I'm watching Nothing in your hands you bring. Serendipitously, unexpectedly, quite miraculously, you drew close to me. I looked around, and soon one day, you had become my friend to stay. No intentions I had for you in my path. You became my friend, and I just laughed at the ironies of life. The wind blew, the night fell, the story goes to tell. How you slipped into my sight, picked up your weapon and joined my fight, laid your course, steadied your pace, and as friends we sought God's grace. Amazingly, He gave grace. It's funny how we share the same blood. It's comforting that we endure the same flood. In the core of my world, I look for no other. And up from nowhere, there sprang my sister and my brother. It's funny how the night drew long. It's funny how we sang the same song, silly, illy songs. We've come so far from where we were, following him and trusting her, loving them and staying there, believing God who answers prayer. Nothing in your hands you bring. Still, you give everything that a brother needs. When walls go up, barriers come down. When friends are born, hope is found. When hope is found, strength is made new. When brothers and sisters are needed, I call on you. When songs are sung, if the truth can be told, I'll be writing your melodies when I'm gray and old. Funny how we share the same blood. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just doing some reading. So for those of you who are joining and maybe joining now, I'm just sharing some readings and poems that I wrote that are published in some of my works, but I'm paying respect to the Harlem Renaissance. And this is my tribute to Black History Month. All right. I want to read a couple of more. I'm trying to read some of those that I may not have shared previously. I hope you all are enjoying these. This one says, the title of this one is Residue, and it also is found in Who We Once Were. All right. Residue, cleansed and purified, rinsed and sanctified. But there remains a residue from the mud baths of the day before yesterday. The day I gave no thought to who I should be, would be, or could be. Scraped and scoured, polished and empowered, but there remains a residue of the adult who once played as a child who was growing, all the while not knowing what was best for me. Planted and groomed, nurtured and pruned, but there remains a residue from the weeds of an unfertilized soil where sowing and reaping brought years of weeping for what I could not see. In the shower of my redemption, I stood, washing away all that I could. A new song I started to sing, but in the tub there remains a ring, a history of where I had been, the indicia of all my sin. I wept for all I could see was the residue. But now I see a lake called regretful, a sea called forgetful, where the residue is cast at last. The shame has sunk and my soul is drunk on a new wine where this time the residue rises no more. I hope you all are enjoying these poems. This is my tribute to Black History Month as I specifically celebrate the Harlem Renaissance. And I'm so thankful to have all of you joining me this evening as we go back down memory lane and remember the Harlem Renaissance. And this is our tribute to Black History Month. I want to say thank you all for joining. I've shouted out our LTTC VIPs, but it's so good to see all of you. Audrey Winfrey, Yvonne Jones, Linda Martin, Sylvia Clemens. Yeah, I'm reading this list. Mika, yes, good. Raydella, Nika, it's good to see you. Linda, Auntie, it's always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. All right. And I try to share these messages. And when you all chat back with me, it encourages my heart. I got a few more that I want to read. We got time, you all. We got time. We are celebrating this. This is my tribute to Black History Month. That's why I went and grabbed the black shirt, put on the black shirt to match my black hair, my black face. All right. Let me just keep on reading. Here's another one. This one comes from my book, Thoughts Keep Flowing. Thoughts Keep Flowing. You all do know one of my books. I want to show this to you. It's interesting how my writing has flowed over the years. I wrote this book that's titled If Words Could Speak. Then in this book, I wrote a poem called If Words Could Speak, the poem. I want to share that with you. A journey that soon begins. A quest with family and friends who take my hand and lead me along the way. You teach me how to caress my fears and shift my soul to feel your tears, even though I can't find the words to say. So I offer you my heart as I offer you my hand, and with the strength of humanity, then we both can stand. Yet we never say a word, but we both rise complete. New life is what we seek, if only the words could speak. Speak those things that the heart does feel, nightmares and dreams that seem so real, and sometimes seem to leave me walking all alone. All alone. But a fragrance or a gentle touch, a summer breeze that means so much, and gives me hope and somehow makes me strong. So I lift my head and I open my mouth, but suddenly I realize nothing will come out. Although I spoke not a word, my heart is what you heard. New life is what you seek, if only words could speak. So if I choose to lift your head or open your mouth, don't ever be dismayed if nothing will come out. There comes a moment in this life, in every passing day. No matter how you try, you just can't find the words to say. The journey may be complete, even if words don't speak. Wow. So this is truly taking me on a journey, you all. I hope that you are enjoying this. Again, if you're just joining, please do me a favor, do a thumbs up, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you click the bell to show me that you are encouraged. But more than just showing me, it shows YouTube that you enjoy the content, the conversation that we are sharing. I'm just enjoying the moment of remembering the contributions of so many people of color. This is what Black History Month celebration is all about. I got a couple more poems that, if you will indulge me, I will share with you all. All right. This one is called Sankofa Song. Many of you know that the Sankofa bird is the bird that, while walking forward, has the ability to look backwards. So the bird can appreciate where it's going, but can also celebrate from whence it has come. This poem is called Sankofa Song. When I was born, I wished I could roll up my tears, up my fears like a snowball, toss them into a hot skillet and watch them sizzle away. When I learned how to walk, I wished I could pour my worries into a paper bag, dump them into the ocean, and watch them dissolve like salt. When I learned how to talk, I wished I could sweep up all my hurts, lay them in the street, and watch them blow away like dust. When I learned how to die, I wish I could celebrate life, blow out the candles, and smile as the smoke takes forms of wings and disappears into nothingness. Sankofa Song. All right. Oh, let me see, you all. Let me see. All right. I'm going to read one more because I think my time is up. But let me just say thank you to those of you who are here with me every Tuesday and every Thursday, or to those of you who do the replays. Thank you for sending your comments. Thank you for always encouraging me. But more than anything else, thank you all for joining as passengers as we go along the highway of life, reading the billboards that will make us better. Our goal is not necessarily to dot every I and cross every T, but our goal is to motivate each other, to inspire each other, to challenge each other. We're crowding as passengers in this car so we can all hold each other accountable for being better. We have a right to be better, and we have a responsibility to do better. We have a right and a responsibility to be better so that we can offer the world a better us tomorrow than we did today. I want to thank you all for taking this journey with me. If you will indulge me, I want to read this one last poem. It says, wanting more. Every day I find myself loving that which causes me to hate. Wow. Despising that which causes me to admire, breaking that which causes me to mend. Each day I find myself clinging to that which causes me to lose. Upholding that which causes me to bow, withstanding that which causes me to kneel. Day after day, I find myself rejecting that which gives me hope, ignoring that which gives me peace, desiring that which gives me grace. You all, this has been 1800 Seconds here on the Let's Talk the Color program. Thank you all so much for sharing this time in this space with me. Do me a favor, share this channel, share this broadcast, and make sure that you meet me here this time next Tuesday. Until then, you all, until then, let's keep building community, maintaining connectivity, and whatever you do, keep your heads up, keep your hope up, stay safe, and stay sane. Until the next time, from my heart to yours, please know that there is much love. Happy Black History Month, and let's go out and celebrate the Harlem Renaissance, fine writings by some people, including me. I'll see you all next time. Good night, all.